Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wellness Matters in the Health Zone. My name is Professor M, aka Lady Michelle. How are you all doing? Praying that you're doing great. In today's show, I want to do a review on Mayo Clinic. And this is my honest review. They're not paying me to do this. Nobody's paying me. But I'm giving the review because I know I know what they have done. My family member has been in the hospital for almost for a month, and a lot of different things were coming up and all this type of stuff. Well, the hospital got them moved. The doctors got them moved to Mayo Clinic. I kid you not. Time he got there, they let him rest up. They let him get himself together and the whole 9 yards. Next thing we knew, they started doing what they needed to do. The doctor said, you might need a heart transplant, but you're not a good candidate. And the reason why he's not a good candidate because he'd be 75 years old Saturday. So those doctors worked together. And the problem was it was fluid in his body that came from a medication that was an antidepressant medication. He already had heart trouble, CHF. And with him taking that medicine, it just made the situation worse. So once they got them there, the doctors really started working. They end up, as of today, they end up pulling 16 gallons of fluid out of his body. I kid you not. 16 gallons of fluid. That is a lot of fluid. That's a lot of fluid. They put a catheter where the other hospital, oh, we can't put the catheter in, yada 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 yada. They put the catheter in him. And it was like, what in the world? Wow. Wow. What in the world? So, what I like about them is this: they are very accurate. If my phone ring is important, so I just put a pause on it. They are very accurate in what they're doing. And when they told him about the heart transplant, they said, thing, you might not need it. We might have another way to do this. The intensity of them working close to the doctor, his doctor. And so it's like, oh wow. So a lot of people think, well, oh, you putting his doctor up on a pedestal. No, I'm not. His doctor worked extremely hard to get where he's at. And when I tell you, he don't play. I mean, truthfully, because when he went back to the hospital, he said something. He said something is not right. Why does he keep coming up in here? They couldn't figure out what the problem was until they started doing research with the medications, and come to find out it was the antidepressant medication. And so when I talked to my therapist, she was telling me, she said that particular medicine has a family. I love how they put all these medications together. They have a family. They said this medication has a family. And that family, that family, all of them in that category has a side effect that deals with the heart. And it was like, are you serious? And so, she admitted. She said, what doctor put him on that? And it wasn't a heart doctor, because the heart doctor do not recommend medications for the heart. It was his primary doctor. And so when they did that, it was like, wow. Oh, wow. Are you serious? Wow. Wow. So it was something. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was something. It was scary. It was very scary. I cannot lie to you all. It was very scary. But I believe that congestive heart failure can be cured. And I'm just saying, I mostly deal with Parkinson and in lifestyle medicine. But I truly believe that congestive heart failure can be reversed. And you might say, well, how? And it has to do with your foods you eat. Because the hospital did not even put him on a heart diet. And they say, oh, well, you can eat anything. No, no, you can't eat anything when you got congestive heart failure. No, you cannot eat anything. So, my intake, I believe that congestive heart failure can be cured. Regardless of what they say, I believe that food plays a big role. I believe exercising plays a big role. I believe in getting proper rest has a big role. I believe in resting has a big role, plays a big role. I believe all of these things plays a big role. I believe in that. Now I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But I believe when you give your body time enough, because the body can heal itself. In spite of all the foolishness that we hear, I believe that the body can heal itself. I believe that. But here is the thing, you have to want your body to heal. It's not going to heal automatically. You got to want your body to heal. It's not going to heal automatic. I mean, it's not going to heal as long as you constantly keep having problems, problems after problems after problems after problems after problems after problems. In the morning, have a morning routine. The billionaires and millionaires, they get up like, some of them get up like 4 o'clock in the morning. And so if you gotta have you a my clock belongs at 6 o'clock. But if I've been talking half the night to my family in Africa, yeah, I don't get no sleep. But get a good night's sleep. Getting a good night's sleep can help. But a lot of people, they don't want to do that. And there's a company, they're not sponsoring this show, but I want you all to check them out. And it's called Native, Native Remedies. Remedies. When my mother when my mother had Parkinson and she had the shakes, they have the the formula. And I said, okay, I'm just going the tremors, excuse me, the tremors. And I said, I'm just going to try this company. Sure enough, I got the stuff. Within a week, the tremors had left. Now, you got to keep on using the medication to keep it active, but yeah. So check them out. Check them. They are a good company. Like I said, I'm not getting paid for this, but companies that I really like to broadcast them. And Mayo Clinic to me is one of the best hospital clinics because I see what they're doing to my family. I see what they're doing. No problems. They're making sure that he's getting the proper treatment. No surgery, no nothing. 16 gallons of fluid. That's a lot of fluid. When all that the hospital could have done was try to do their best. And if they seen that they couldn't do their best, they could have transported him to Mayo Clinic right then and there. And he would probably be home right now, getting ready to celebrate his birthday. But people don't, nurse care is not like it used to be. Nurses had a lot of respect. They took their jobs to a total different level. I used to love the nurses with their hats on. I mean, you knew when the nurse was on that floor, you knew it, and they had that respect. Nowadays, you don't know, and I just have a problem with that. I really do. I really do. I have a problem with that because you are a professional. If you are a professional, you should be able to show yourself. I think what is happening to America, I can't speak about other countries, but what is happening to America, America has gotten free too much. America has gotten to the place now that they're too laid back. And this is where we're losing the respect. Now, I'm not a Trump supporter, and I tell anybody, people that know me would tell you, I do not like him. But in some things, I can kind of understand what he's trying to do. But first, the head got to be together before the tail can be together. So that's a whole different coat by itself. But I believe that if the nurses did more caring, if the doctors did more caring, besides walking around and trying to be this and that, I believe that things could be a lot better. I really do believe that. I could be wrong, but I believe that. And in the day and time that we live in, yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to come on and say that Mayo Clinic, if you got a family member that has heart problems, talk to your heart doctor and tell them I want to go to Mayo Clinic. Wellness Matters in the Health Zone recommended them. They are the best. They're the best. Well, listen, guys, it's nice being on today. Be safe out there. Take care of each other. We're living in a world that things are just getting crazy. And if we don't put a grip on it, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. So please take care of yourselves. Please stay healthy. and don't be out here doing stupid stuff. Okay? Until later on, thank you and be blessed.